What's up guys, this is Balázs from RacingBrick. This is the first review of 2022 and we start with two brand new Monster Jam pullback sets. I'm sure you remember last year we already had two similar monster trucks, the Monster Jam Gravedigger and the Max D sets. Let's see what we've got this year. I think we can agree that the 2022 lineup got wilder and weirder. This is the 42134 Monster Jam Megalodon and here is the 42135 Toro Loco truck. Both boxes have a very similar design. We see the vehicles at the front, and on the back we have another shot of the A model, a photo of the B model next to it, and in the bottom left corner you can see the original monster trucks. Let's open the boxes. The Megalodon set has 260 pieces, the El Toro Loco has 247. Both of them can be bought for 20 euros or dollars, and they are already available from the 1st of January. As you see, the contents are also quite similar. 3 unnumbered bags on the left side, 4 on the right side, then 4 tires, 1 pullback motor, a manual and a sticker sheet for each. Here are both part lists. Now let's focus on the Megalodon first, as there are a lot more surprises in this set that you would expect. Let's get started. Okay, there are no wonders in the first 30-something steps. This is how the chassis looks like so far. But now comes a more interesting part. Do you see here all these parts in medium blue? Interestingly, all of them seems to be brand new in this color, well, except these 3 round 1x1 tiles. This is quite unusual. I can't recall when did I see a set with a dominant color that required so many new pieces. It is especially strange considering the pricing of the set. Producing 13 different elements in a new color for a $20 set is quite unusual. Maybe we will get something bigger and more expensive in medium blue? We will see. I can only recall 3 Technic sets with this color from the past 10 years, and only the Air Race Jet had a significant amount of them. The Street Motorcycle and the Hot Rod only had a few pieces, and those were mostly panel fairings. Going forward, here's a brand new piece that you might not find particularly interesting for the first sight, but believe me, it is quite exciting. You might have seen these half pins so far, with different colors and slightly different length. Usually different colors mean different friction, but not in this case. As you see, all of them practically rotate freely in a pinhole. When can this be problematic? Well, we have a nice example right here, the spikes on Max D. As you see, it is virtually impossible to align them properly, as they rotate freely and as soon as you touch the model, they are all over the place again. Now here comes this new half pin, and if we take a closer look we can see the difference. It has friction ridges, just like the regular pins. What does that mean in practice? Well, compared to the previous versions, now it requires a significant amount of force to rotate it, so it will be much more useful in cases where the orientation of the inserted pieces matters. Pushing the half pins out usually requires a simple axle, works like a charm here as well. With the frictionless versions you could also use a rod, but that one does not really work here. This means you should be careful with the new pins and these tubes. It was not particularly difficult to remove the frictionless ones if you inserted one on both ends, but if you push 2 of the new ones in, you'll be in trouble. I don't say it's impossible to remove, but will cause you a headache for sure. The completed assembly needs to be aligned at a couple of places, but snaps in place nicely at the end. Same goes for the other side. We have a layered structure built in the middle section using half beams and a long one with lots of pins to support the rear panels. In a few steps, this area is covered with the new medium blue parts. Here comes the assembly stabilizing the rear of the truck. It also has the imitation of the rear shock absorbers. Time to add one of the fins to the side. Then there's an interesting error in the manual. The wing piece is somehow merged with that curved piece behind it, looks funny. The fin is otherwise held in place nicely by the round tile and the other surrounding pieces. You can see the real purpose of the red half pins here. Once the teeth are inserted properly, they will not rotate easily, they will hold their position. And here's another surprising piece, a 3-module long frictionless pin. Unlike this one, it does not have a stop ring, so it can be pushed all the way in. It is not brand new, was already used in 3 non-Technic sets according to Bricklink. What's the purpose here? For the first sight it's not obvious, as this assembly is not locked in place before inserting the new pin. We could have easily used the standard blue one instead. Well, not really, since it's quite a challenge to push the assembly in the proper position if the pin is already there. It's not impossible, but requires some force and a little bending of parts, so the usage of the new piece is justified. Then the assembly is stabilized with this other blue pin, which is a bit tricky to push in place. After adding the same parts on the other side, we have the axles left, then some fins here and there, the wheels, and the model is finished. Now let's build the other set quickly. It begins with the pullback engine and the surrounding parts, and we already have some wacky angles used here, looks cool. Here's the chassis so far, nothing extraordinary. Time to add the teeth. As you see, the bolt does not have as sharp ones as the shark previously. This means we don't get any of the new half pins, these ones can rotate freely. It's a weird contrast with the Megalodon set, but I think in this one this is the only part that appears in a new color. I'm not the biggest fan of these tiny stickers on the wheel arches, they look weird and challenging to apply properly. We are quickly approaching the end of the build. I have to say it has way more stickers than the previous one. Added the horns, now mounting the wheels, and that's pretty much it. It is finished. So here are the two completed Monster Jam trucks. I have to confess I found the Megalodon very weird for the first sight when it was announced, but after building them it is a clear winner for me. Way more new parts, more interesting build, everything just seems to be better. The other one is an okay pullback set, but nothing particularly interesting. Here are the 4 Monster Jam trucks together. Let me know in the comments which one you prefer the most and why. One annoying detail on the Toro Loco is the mounting of the horns. They are easy to flap around. The other detail I don't really like is the way these cones are mounted. The axle is still exposed below it. The only questionable detail on the Megalodon is the asymmetric part usage at the rear. Not sure why that dark bluish grey beam was used on the right side instead of the curved piece on the left. Maybe it has something to do with the B model, I don't know. And of course the question everyone will ask this year, why we still don't have the small scale tractor tires on these monster trucks. I don't know. Tested them last year and they seem to be a good fit for the job and they definitely look more accurate. Pullback performance seems to be the usual, and the sets are sturdy enough to withstand the potential crashes. So let's sum it up. For me the clear winner is the Megalodon set, as I said. Interesting and useful new parts, a better build, better look. For the same amount of money I would definitely buy this one. Toro Loco is okay, but I would only get it if I wanted to have a full collection. Otherwise the ones from last year are way more interesting. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe with notifications as there are more interesting LEGO Technic reviews coming. See you next time, bye bye.